in the Women's Euro semi-finals live on talkSPORT. The quarterfinal, of course, certainly was a rollercoaster ride. England become the first ever team to progress from a knockout tie in the Women's Euros, having trailed by 2 or more goals. After a dramatic penalty shootout, England sealed their place in the semi-finals.
It's over! England are in the semi-finals! They expected, somehow, from somewhere, the Lionesses have delivered. Their grip on the Euros trophy remains alive. They have won an epic penalty shootout, 3-2 in Zurich.
Yeah, safe to say all the Lionesses fans would prefer a much more stress-free win. They've now reached the semi-finals. Look ahead to a massive game tonight. It's a great pleasure to say good morning to 2022's Euro winner, the Lionesses, Nikita Parris. All right, Nikita?
Good morning, Jamie.
Nikita, it's an absolute pleasure. Thanks for coming on. Where are you? What are you up to?
Today I'm at Chadden FC, the big football day, powered by the National Lottery. It's an opportunity for young girls to come down and enjoy football sessions. And here at Chadden, they have a all-purpose base pitch all weather, and they've needed it because the rain's been falling.
Yeah.
But luckily enough, the Lottery have sorted them out with a nice new pitch, and yeah, they're enjoying the training sessions.
Amazing, yeah, amazing. I've actually played at Chatham. It's a great little ground. They pack it out as well. The fans down there, it's brilliant. Nikita, just on the game tonight, it's it's a massive game, in terms of where they can go. Can we see them get into the final?
Yeah, I think so. I think on this side of the draw that England found themselves on, I think Sweden was going to be the toughest test. That's no disrespect to Italy. You know, they've done fantastically well getting to the semi-final, but they are the underdog team in this tie, and I think England will come through easier than they did in the quarterfinal, let's say that.
It is a tough. I mean, you know, sometimes, Nikita, these you know, the teams that you're supposed to beat, sometimes they're the most difficult ones, aren't they? Because they've nothing to lose now tonight, have they, Italy? No. Everybody expects them to roll over, so it'll be. They're going to have to be professional tonight, aren't they?
Yeah, morning, Neil. Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, you can't underestimate Italy, of course. But I do think, you know, the style in which Italy do play is definitely something that won't cause a massive problem to England in terms of, you know, they like to sit off and allow you know, because more Italian, pretty much defensive based, whereas Sweden were more counter-attacking, and their pace and power caused England a lot of problems.
Nikita, the other night, obviously with 2-0 down, it looked like we were dead and buried, but the subs made a massive difference. Yeah, I've speaking earlier. You think
you can't get your head around this, can you?
Well, I just, you know, I can't believe the subs. I'm expecting there to be changes. Sarina Wiegman surely has got to make some changes, because we were really poor in that first 45 minutes against Sweden.
We've seen that Sarina doesn't like to make many changes, and I can't see it making that many changes going forward, considering this is the semi-final and the next step is obviously the final if they do get through, which then causes a bit of inconsistency with, you know, you tend to, through a tournament, try and keep similar starting 11 for cohesion, but obviously the subs have done unbelievable and they've really impacted every game in which they've come on, and there's been various different substitutions at times and they've all played the part, and you know, it takes more than 11 players to win a tournament.
Yeah.
If you were one of them subs that come on and change the game, Nikita, would you be so disappointed if you didn't get picked for the next one?
I think naturally as a footballer, you want to be in the starting 11, so you're doing everything you can in training, in games when you get the opportunity to want to start. But ultimately, Sarina isn't a person or a manager that likes to make too many changes in tournament.
Yeah, look, you've played under Sarina Wiegman. Did you practice penalties?
Yeah, but I'm telling you, practicing penalties. You should know, Jamie.
I know. I missed a few.
Actually, yeah. So have I. But practicing penalties and actually the reality of it when you're in a stadium in a, you know, major tournament quarter-final, it's a very different atmosphere. You can't really replicate that in training. And
I never took one, even in Sunday League. I never took one, mate. I ain't got the bottle to take one, mate.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. You know, just run up, take it, you know, instead of walking up that long old walk.
She did well, didn't she? Lucy Bronze, was it? I mean, wow. Amazing, go up, thump it, and, well, you know, I thought, wow, that's, you know, the way she did it was unbelievable, wasn't it?
Yeah, How do you take your penalties, Nikita? Did you?
Do you give him the eye? Do you give him the eye, Nikita, or did you smash it?
No, I definitely didn't give them the eye. I just, as I was walking up, I picked my spot, and hopefully the keeper didn't go that way. But and all the time I've practiced through all the years, but yeah, I've just never been able to replicate that moment.
Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can. We was having this chat earlier with Neil. You can sit there and you can try and put pressure on the lads in training, and to try and make them do something, to try and create a pressure. But there is nothing like the moment when you've got to go up, and then all of a sudden you're sitting there thinking,
can I tell you the first time I ever saw where you go up and stop and the goalie dives and you put it in.
Yeah.
I was present at the first game I ever saw in England. It came
was it?
from Pele, and I watched him play for Santos at Hillsborough, Sheffield Wednesday.
Okay.
And he did that. I was on the cop with all the Wednesdayites, and he came up and stopped, and the goalie dived, and then he put it in side-footed. And then Wednesday got a penalty later on. Colin Dobson, a ginger-haired lad, he took the penalty, a winger, and he tried to do the same and stumbled, and the kid saved it. But Pele, I mean, that was the first time it ever happened. I don't know how they got the guts to go up and stop like that.
It's a technique now.
I know it is.
It is a proper technique. Look, just on the Lionesses, Nikita, obviously they are the holders. We haven't been amazing in this tournament. There's been certain players who have really stood out, but how big is this tonight for the Lionesses, for the women's game, to get to another final?
Yeah, it's massively important, and sometimes in tournaments in football you don't get the performance you want, but you get the result, and ultimately that's all that counts in tournament football, that you go through to the next round. And quarterfinals complete, semifinals tonight, but to retain a European Championships would be massive. The legacy would be uncontested. Yeah,
it'd be unbelievable. Got to play Spain or Germany in the final. That's going to be tough. Spain have looked pretty decent in this tournament. Nikita, you're a star. Enjoy yourself today.
Thank you. Yeah,
thanks
Nikita.
guys.
Bye.
All right, thanks for coming on, Nikita Parris, former Lionesses striker. Don't forget, you can hear live commentary of the Women's Euro semi-final between England and Italy live on talkSPORT from 7 p.m. tonight.